Hi guys, it's Alicia. I am back with another What's for Dinner on WW or Weight Watchers. I'm going to be showing you some of the meals we had this week, and I will also be giving you the points on all those meals on not only the green, but the blue and purple plans as well. So let's get started and I will show you what we had for dinner. Dinner tonight is going to be turkey stuffed peppers. Now I have done a video on this, I will link that down below. But this time I'm going to be making just a couple little changes and I will let you know what those are as I make them. But you're first going to start off with a large frying pan here, and you're going to add in a pound of ground turkey, and to that I'm going to add about a half of a red onion that I've chopped up. Now this is where I'm doing it a little differently. I typically would use green onions in this and add them towards the end, but I ran out of those, so I'm just going to add the red onion in here instead and get that cooked with the meat. So I'm going to get this all cooked, get that turkey browned and those onions softened. First I'm going to add a little fresh ground pepper to this. You can add a little salt if you want, but I'm just going to do pepper. But I'm going to get this browned and then I will show you the next step. Alright, now that that turkey is nice and brown, I'm going to add in some garlic, about a tablespoon or so, and then I'm going to just let that cook in there for another minute until it becomes fragrant. And then over here I've got my bell peppers. I've got 5 of them that I have cut the tops off, took the seeds and membranes out, and then cut them in half lengthwise. And I've just added them into this boiling water here, and I'm going to let them sit in there for about 5 minutes or so until they start to soften just a little bit. Now I'm going to add in my spices. I'm going to do a tablespoon of cumin, tablespoon of chili powder, and I missed my pan there a little bit. Next I'm going to add a can of drained corn, a can of black beans that I've drained and rinsed, and then here is going to be one of the differences from my previous video. I'm going to be adding Rotel in here, a can of that instead of a can of tomatoes, which is what I typically do, but I just thought that would be kind of a nice little thing to try instead of just the tomatoes, the Rotel. So now I'm going to mix this all together in here. And this time actually I am going to add a little bit of salt, which I typically don't. Just a little bit. Mix that in there. Now I'm going to add in 2 cups of brown rice that I've got cooked. Stir that in there. And 3/4 cup of a low-fat cheese. And mix that in there. So here I've got my bell peppers that I put in a 9 by 13 inch casserole dish that I sprayed with a little bit of olive oil. Once those were done boiling, I just sat them on a paper towel to kind of dry off. That's what I did with those. But anyway, so I've got them here in a casserole dish now, and I'm gonna fill each one of these peppers with some of this filling. Okay, I've got those all filled up, and I ended up with just a little bit of extra of this filling. Sometimes I end up with more than that, and you can just eat that plain if you want, or it would actually make like a nice burrito filling or something like that. Anyway, it's very good by itself, so that won't go to waste. But now I'm going to take these and I'm going to put these in my preheated oven at 350 for about 20 minutes. I have let these bake for 20 minutes, and now I'm going to top them with another 3/4 cup cheese, and then I'm going to bake them for another 5 minutes or so until that cheese melts. Here they are done. So I will show you what a serving is and how many points. Okay, and here is dinner tonight. Now we are having 2 of these a piece, which you really don't need to do because they are pretty filling. If you had one of these with like a salad or something, I think that would be more than enough, but I don't have any salad, so we're just going 2. Now, one of these is gonna be 6 points on green, 4 points on blue, and 3 points on the purple. But if you do two like we're doing, the points get a little bit higher with Weight Watcher math. And it is then gonna be 13 for green, 9 for blue, and 7 for purple. So that gets a little higher, but I don't know, I still think it's worth it. These are really good and something that I still make quite a bit, even though they are a little bit on the high side. They're really yummy and they're really easy to make too, actually. So yeah, definitely one that I have in my rotation. And yeah, thought you guys might enjoy it. So I figured I would just show it in this video. And like I said, I have a video on this already that I will link down below where you can see the ingredients and instructions in the description box. But yeah, 13-point dinner tonight. So tonight I'm gonna be making one of our favorites. It's really easy and it's really yummy, and that is a mushroom and sausage pasta. So that's gonna start off over here with some pasta. Now typically I use the whole wheat, usually probably penne, but this is all I've got on hand right now is a tricolored rotini, so I'm gonna just use that. And I'm gonna get that cooking until it is al dente. And then over here I have got a large pan that I've got on medium-high heat, and I'm gonna add to it some turkey kielbasa and red onion and red bell pepper. And I'm gonna get this cooking in here until those veggies start to soften. Those peppers and onions have started to soften, so now I'm gonna add in my mushrooms. And I like a lot of mushrooms, so I put in a lot of mushrooms. You don't have to put this many in if you don't want. But these are Baby Bella mushrooms. And I just said the word Bella, so I'm sure my dog will be over here any second. I really like the Baby Bella. I don't always buy them. I usually just buy the regular white mushrooms, but these are really good in this. So I'm gonna let those cook in there until they start to soften. Now that those mushrooms have softened, I'm gonna go ahead and add in some garlic. And I'm gonna let that cook in there for about a minute. And then I'm also going to drain my pasta over here and set that aside. Now I'm gonna add in some oregano and fresh ground black pepper. You can add salt too if you want. I typically don't. Now I'm gonna add in some marinara sauce. And I always like to put a little water in my jar, shake that up to get the remaining sauce out of there. So I'm going to stir this up, and then I'm gonna just let this kind of simmer for a few minutes. Now I'm going to pour in my pasta. Stir that in. And now I'm gonna take this prepared 13 by 9 inch casserole dish, and I'm going to pour that in there. I'm now gonna top that with some part skim mozzarella and a little bit of Parmesan. And I'm gonna bake this in my oven at 350 for about 25 to 30 minutes. I cook this for 25 minutes. And that is what it's looking like. It smells amazing, and I'm gonna try to give it a few minutes before I cut into it. And here is dinner tonight. So that is a serving of the pasta, which is a sixth of the total. And that is gonna be 10 points on green and blue, and then it's gonna be 6 points on purple, and I believe that's because of the whole wheat pasta that I typically put in this. So since I didn't use whole wheat pasta, I don't know that that would be the case this time. But the recipe video that I'm gonna link down below, I use whole wheat pasta, and I think that's why that makes the purple lower in points. Correct me if I'm wrong on that, I'm not totally sure. But anyway, 10, 10, and 6 for the pasta, and then back here, we're just gonna have side salad with this. And I'm still loving this Opa avocado and cilantro dressing from Lighthouse. I'm gonna use a couple tablespoons of that, and that's going to be 2 points too. So that's gonna make my dinner a 12-point total, and that would be 12 points on green and blue, and just 8 on purple. But yeah, this stuff is so good. It's a little high in points, but I definitely think it's worth it. I love my pasta. It's comfort food to me, and I love this kind of thing, especially now that the weather's getting colder. So yeah, definitely worth it to me. So tonight for dinner, my husband smoked up some salmon, which I was very happy about because it's been a really long time since we've had smoked salmon, and I've forgotten how delicious it really is. I will be doing a separate video on how he smoked this, so if you're interested in seeing how he smoked this, be on the lookout for that video. I will have that up here pretty soon. And here is dinner tonight. We've got smoked salmon there. That is 4 ounces, and it is a point an ounce, so 4 points for the salmon. And then here we've got some cheddar biscuits, and those are 5 points a piece. I'm gonna be doing videos on both these biscuits and that salmon there. If you're interested in either one of these, be looking out for those. And so then back here, got a salad, and gonna be using, again, some of this Opa avocado cilantro dressing at 2 points a serving. So our dinner total is going to be 11 points. And I believe, well, no, that's gonna be 11 points on green. These biscuits are 4 points on blue and purple. So this would be 10 points. And that is what we had for dinner this week on WW. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and maybe it gave you some ideas. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you on the next one.